Ghanatube so and now we need egusu Mahama number 1 channel and news so any the eba on my no me call ne kohwehwe no pa na so ne so na ya brem na me hu na mate nsem so any the eba on my no na emo nsem ni bo ho a na chese emu edu e de mayen se ye bet na se na ya ka di amamont no mo amko betie nsem so any the eba on my name na se ye ba ni e ka ho ne be so e di ama ya hwefo.
From the Ministry of Finance, which is yet to be carried out. Hence the need for the Ghana Revenue Authority to revise the implementation date following some fresh engagement with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Energy. So consumers may have gotten the relief now, but maybe could be paying more from June 16, 2025. The Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies have maintained that implementing the 1 Ghana cedi levy on fuel will move the average price on every litre of petrol from 11 Ghana cedis to 13 Ghana cedis.
Meanwhile, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies has described the decision to defer the implementation of the levy as a prudent move. Chief Executive Dr. Ředopon called for continued dialogue and stakeholder engagement to ensure the smooth implementation of the levy in the future.
When we met the minister, we made him aware of the challenges that we foresee happening. And as a matter of fact, because we did not want to necessarily give a burden to the consumer. Like Really said, we laid three different, I would say, proposals. That first of all will even make the government gain enough revenue as is expected, and also prevent any, I would say, turmoil within the sector. One of the main reasons why we could not implement this, let me throw more light into that, is the fact that, for our members who are on cash and carry, what this meant was that yesterday they had to raise millions of cedis to prepay the tax. Something that people don't know, and then when they are bashing this, the sector agencies and stakeholders, by saying when fuel price was 17, we were quiet. Now, just 1 cedi, we are complaining. When the commodity increases, it's a different thing altogether because you pay after selling, right? But there's a credit facility. But when you are paying a tax for GRA, you need to prepay before you lift. So where were you going to get that 4 million? For some, it was 9 million cedis. Yesterday to prepay the tax today in order to lift.
Well, tax consultant Francis Timoboy joins me on Zoom to discuss this. Hello, Francis. So, your thoughts on how this is playing out and what are the likely short to medium-term fiscal impacts of postponing the implementation of this new levy by 1 week, considering the government's repayment objectives?
I think what we saw yesterday was some level of breakdown in communication and coordination between the Ministry of Finance and GRA, and then also the OMCs. Whilst the Ministry and the GRA were looking at fiscal agency, the OMCs were more concerned with operational readiness. So they initially rejected it, but kudos to the GRA, they were able to quickly rally and re-engage, for which reason we are seeing the postponement to 16th of June, which is the next pricing window. On the short term or 7 days impact, on the back of the envelope calculation, I think the government said they were going to, look at 5.7 billion cedis, which is equivalent to how much liters we consume from now to maybe the end of the year. So on a daily basis, that gives you around 27 million liters. So potentially we're losing about 27 million cedis a day. And for the 7 days, you could do the calculations. And so for me,
Adafo any etiefo ye nsem ayo koso any de eba o man mo edika editie no and adafo me shema kwakoko hwehwe a me de april a wo so wutie na wo hu ni ekoso na emum ni nsem ni po ho a je se emu edunti yokona akotie ni eto aso
equivalent to how much latest we consume from now to maybe the end of the year. So on a daily basis, that gives you around 27 million liters. So potentially we're losing about 27 million cedis a day. And for the 7 days, you could do the calculations. And so for me, I think that it is better to ensure that there is proper compliance than to rush the decision. Normally when taxes are introduced, you give the collectors some time to be able to, ensure that they comply with the system. So it's good that there was some engagement and we hope that it continues. Maybe in future we should ensure that we do the engagement before we saw the two letters flying back and forth.
Well, so how might this new levy affect fuel pricing mechanisms? I'm asking because we are told the 1 cedi charge is on the consumer, but then we're hearing the OMC say they're going to be paying more than 1 cedi. Explain to us.
No, that's right. So you see, this is a flat tax, and so 1 cedi, no matter what, it's likely to increase the pump price. The flat amount does not depend on the other variables that determine pump price. The good thing is that the government has been able to keep the dollar, which is the primary currency, under control. And so the danger then becomes if the cedi begins to, lose its value and the crude price on the world market also begin to go up. Certainly then consumers are going to bear the brunt. Prices of the commodity is going to go up at the pump. But for now, we can say that the cedi is likely to keep the price at the pump within an average of the price that we used to pay when the cedi was around 15, 16 cedis. Otherwise, we should be prepared to pay more when some of the variables that determine the pump price begin to, lose their value.
Wow. So it's been postponed to June 16. Then we expect that the taxes will kick in. When it comes to compliance, what challenges do you foresee?
For fuel, commodities like fuel, we do not foresee much challenge. We heard people saying that there's potential smuggling, but in Ghana we don't experience much smuggling like other commodities. So that is why potentially the government decided to go for fuel as a short-term measure, an easy tax to collect. So if the OMCs are able to program their systems to ensure the compliance by 16th of June, I think that we're going to have a smooth compliance measures. Like the chief executive officer was saying, in some cases we even have to pre-finance. You pay the amount in advance before you lift. So the government is assured of a constant revenue, and compliance may not be too big as we see in other tax types.
Yeah, and how effective is this new charge? Do you anticipate the government is going to impose some more levies? Mind you, Ghanaians are already complaining. You took away some levies and then you're imposing some others.
As for that one, I haven't seen any government that comes that says that they will not impose taxes. But I can say that this particular tax is, you can call it a necessary evil. If you look at the way we have all sat quiet for the energy sector to be such a financially unstable, I think that we can see some reasons that, yes, legacy debt must be paid. But having said that, obviously for the next 4 years or 8 years, certainly government will come up with different tax policies, and this may not be the last.
All right. Thank you so much, Francis Timoboy, tax consultant. Always appreciate your analysis on tax issues. You're watching The Marketplace. Now, the total amount of money the Bank of Ghana spent last year in managing currency in circulation and printing went up marginally to hit 1 billion cedis. There's more on this as well as other cost components incurred by the central bank last year.
The increase in the currency expenses for last year was influenced by a spike in the cost of printing notes and coins by the Bank of Ghana, which rose from 675 million cedis to 986 million cedis. However, legal claims against the Bank of Ghana had reduced from 117 million cedis in 2023 to 107 in 2024. These are cases brought against the bank from some staff over wrongful dismissal, land litigation, and housing issues. The 2024 financial statement showed that monies the Bank of Ghana earned from penalties against financial institutions went up significantly to 161 million cedis. But a careful look at the operational cost may raise some concerns. Thus, the staff cost at the group, that as the Bank of Ghana and its subsidiaries, has risen by some significant margin to 2.9 billion cedis ending December 2024. Staff loans, on the other hand, stood at 1.6 billion cedis. In 2024, the Bank of Ghana spent 14.4 million cedis in importing foreign currencies to meet the needs of businesses and banks.
You're watching The Marketplace. We are hitting another quick break. We'll be back with a look at your headlines.
For any ETF for her and I'm brown quite missy very was some I so any day ever my name is show and not if from your hair Ghanatube so much.